Hello, today's the birthday of Hanif Qureshi, the writer of The Buddha of Suburbia, screenwriter for My Beautiful Laundrette, but now, sadly, a tetraplegic. He had a serious accident in Italy, which has left him without the use of many of his limbs. And I was particularly um, uh, moved by the description, hearing him interviewed, because he's just written a book about his experience called Shattered. But in the interview, talking about his loss of the use of his hands. I mean, he's lost the use of most of his limbs, but he seems to think that the loss of the use of his hands was worse, far by far, than the inability to walk, because it makes him completely dependent. He can't write. He can't use a keyboard, of course. He can't make a cup of tea. He can't do anything for himself because he can't move his hands. He's beginning to get some of the movement back, and he says that he now can at least itch a scratch. And he says it's amazing how often you need to itch a scratch and don't realise you're doing it. And his goal is to get to the point where he can write his name sufficiently to sign one of his books. But it made me realise how important our hands are. He says at one point, he suggests that we all ought to spend a day with our hands tied behind our backs and see how we like it. And it would make us realise just how much we need our hands and how valuable they are, and the huge number of different ways in which we can use them, and how dependent we would be on others without them. That, he says, is the worst thing, is having to let other people care for him and see them getting tired doing so. And so today, I just thought it was worth just looking at my hands again, admiring the extraordinary design and the wonderful way they're created, and to be grateful for my ability to use them and to do all the things that so often I just take for granted that I can do. But if I had been in his position and suddenly discovered I couldn't, how awful that would be. And so today is a celebration of my hands.